We have the power through God's grace to overcome fear. We're going to read out of Joel chapter 2. Please turn to Joel chapter 2. And this is a text that we need to read and heed. Would everybody please say, read and heed? The Bible says don't just be hearers of the word, but be doers also. Let's take a look at Joel chapter 2, verse 21. If you're there, would you please say, fear not? Fear not. Joel 2:21 says, fear not, O land. Be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. This is such a great verse. I didn't even know it was in the Bible till the other day. I was looking up verses that talked about fear, and I saw this verse. I'm like, man, that's got to be my text for Monday. I'm not choosing this text. This text is choosing me. Fear not, O land. Be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. This is not the kind of text that you read. This is the kind of text that reads you. What's the fear that you're dealing with? Fear not, God says, but be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. Everybody please say out loud, fear not. Be glad, rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. That's what the prophet Joel declared. Did somebody just say church? A bunch of you just said church. I love your faces. This is how we got to go through life, saying, I will not be afraid. I will not be afraid. Why? Because the Lord will do great things. You say, but Ben, life is tough. But you know what? When you walk with God who does great things, you can go through hard times and you don't got to say, why me? You can just say, try me. But you say, Ben, hashtag the struggle is real. I didn't get my mocha this morning. Hashtag the struggle is real. Hashtag the struggle is real, but so is God. Life is tough, but God is tougher. Life is a battle, but the battle is the Lord's. And no one ever injured their eyesight by looking on the bright side. And you can say, my faith will never be dictated by my circumstances, but rather my circumstances will always be dictated by my faith. And even if I'm broken, that's okay, because life is like a glow stick. Sometimes you gotta break before you shine. So I'm gonna be strong when everything's going wrong. My past supply is not my last supply. The more desperate the case, the more room for God's grace. God's love is the coal that makes the train roll. So I'm going to throw water on the fire of my fears and gasoline on the passions of my dream. Come on, man. Why am I not going to be afraid? Because the Lord will do great things. So you've got to learn to face your fears. By the way, how many of you are here for the first time? Anybody here? Raise your hand if you're here for the first time. Awesome. We would love for you now to come up and sing us a song. I'm joking. I'm joking. But in real life, man, we got to learn to face whatever our fears are. I love what Isaiah 41 verse 10 says about overcoming fear. Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will help thee. I will strengthen thee. I will uphold thee with my righteous right hand. So fear not. Then a few verses later, he tells Israel why they need not fear. Actually, my dad taught this on Wednesday night. It was so good. I texted him about it. In Isaiah 41, my dad was teaching this text, and he said, you know what? I might not be Superman, and I might not even be Mighty Mouse, but I am Wonder Worm. Because listen to what he says. Listen to what Isaiah says in verse 14. This is right after he says, fear not. In verse 14, chapter 41, he says, fear not, thou worm, Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. And Pops was talking about how God, even if you feel like a worm, he says, oh, worm Jacob, don't fear. Why? Because I'm going to make you a sharp threshing instrument having teeth, raising mountains to the ground. Can you picture a worm having teeth and gobbling up mountains? That's why God says, fear not. You might not be Mighty Mouse. You might not be Superman, but you can be Wonder Worm. I'm just a worm, but you're a worm with teeth, so fear not. Winston Churchill once said, "I may be a worm, but I dare say I am a glowworm." That's what the Bible says about you. Hey, you might be a worm, O Jacob, but you also are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14, you're a glowworm. It's interesting, even if you're in a dark place today, even if you're fearful today, even when you're in a dark place, the Bible says, even if I sit in darkness, the Lord will be a light unto me. David said, the reason I don't have to fear when I'm going through the valley of the shadow of death is because thou art with me. Just as Isaiah 41 said, fear not, for I am with you. David said in Psalm 27, verse 1, the Lord is my light. Whom shall I fear? Because God is my light, I need not be afraid. 1 John says, this is the message that we have declared unto you, that the Lord is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. If you're going through the valley of the shadow of death tonight, if you're going through darkness tonight, if you're going through fear tonight, God is your light. The Lord is my light. Therefore, of whom shall I be afraid? Light. Did you know that astrophysicists are now telling us that the only stable element in the universe is the speed of light? The only stable element in the universe is the speed of light. And astrophysicists are now telling us that, listen to this, this is amazing. There is light in every square inch. In every inch, every single inch of the universe, there is light. So what scientists are now discovering, that even in the darkest parts of the universe, there is light there. In every, you can look it up yourself, in every single inch of the universe, scientists have now discovered there is light. There are approximately listen to this, there are approximately 4 million photons per square meter. There are approximately 4 million photons. Remember, light is made up of energy quanta called photons. There are approximately 4 million photons per square meter. And I love how the Bible, before scientists were ever figuring this stuff out, the Bible continues to say that God is light. God is light. The first thing that God said is, let there be light. That's the first word he ever spoke. Let there be light. God is light. In him there is no darkness at all. You are my light. Of whom shall I be afraid? This idea of light is always linked to God because David said in Psalm 139, if I dwell in the heavens or if I go down to Sheol, if I take the wings of the morning or dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, where can I flee from your presence? Behold, you are there. God, like light, is omnipresent. God is even in the darkest parts of the universe. God is everywhere. Where can I flee from your presence? God is there. Even when you're going through the darkness, I want to tell you, fear not, for the Lord is your light. Whether you're nihilistic or optimistic, whether you're atheistic or mystic, God is here. And God is there. And where can I flee from his presence? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. So I will not be afraid because God's my light. You know what fear is, right? Fear is nothing more than an acronym. Notice Joel says, fear not, for the Lord will do great things. Fear, 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 fear. We all have fear, but fear is an acronym. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. Would somebody please say church? That's all it is, man. False evidence appearing real. It's a lie. Ben Courson here. Thank you so much for watching my new YouTube channel. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with all your friends, and hit that bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. May the hope be with you.